Yeah, cool, cool, cool. Well, it's been a minute. In fact, we chatted back in March 2023, and a hell of a lot obviously has kind of happened since then. Before we get into that all though, are you well? How are you doing at the moment?
Yeah. Very well. Recovering from jet lag. We all are slightly. We came back from an American tour a couple of weeks ago, like our first full tour. So
Yeah,
getting home and dealing with the jet lag was something else. So
really.
saw the boys for the first time since America yesterday, and everyone was saying, "Are you recovered yet?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I am." And everyone else is kind of just like, "I've only just got over it." So, but besides that, absolutely great.
Yeah, how was Takedown? How was that show? Incredible festival, right?
Yeah, no, it was super cool. It was a really long day. So I live 2.5 hours from Portsmouth, and because we were headlining the stage, we had to sound check. Obviously, we had an American drummer, um, so our UK drummer. Then we hadn't practiced with him for ages, so we had to get to Portsmouth for 8 a.m. practice, get to takedown for 11 to sound check, and then we played at 9:45. So we spent the whole day there. So it was quite a long day, but like, yeah, it was great. Really fun festival.
Oof, oof. Yeah, that is a long day, but I'm glad it went well. I'm glad it went well. I've seen some photos. I've heard some people talking about it. Seems to have gone down a treat, which is great.
Yeah, it was cool. My first time there. I know Alex actually lives in Portsmouth, so it's his fifth takedown he's been to. First one he's played, and yeah, my first time there. But yeah, awesome festival. Saw a bunch of cool bands. Yeah, really good time.
Are you happy so far with how busy you've been and how it's been treating you the year so far?
Yeah, I mean, we've never been so busy, which is wild. We've never been so prepared with music and new music, and yeah, touring as well. Like it was, we hit the studio in October to record the album. We already had the plot tour confirmed, but then while we were in the studio, we got the Devil offer to go because we go back out in a couple of weeks with Devil Wears Prada. So yeah, and that's been like 3 weeks home, another 5 weeks then in the US. So yeah, it's great. Never been busier, and like I said, it's good to be on top of everything for once, which is cool.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, right? Like it's fabulous that you're crazy busy, but if it was like super stressful and you're pulling your hair out because things happen to wait like last minute and all of that, it would be horrible. But it's so you feel organized, you all feel in a good place.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Yeah, like I said, we've never been so prepared with music, and normally we do an album, we do something, and it takes a year or two to then get something else out. And obviously, the EP came out in October while we were in the studio, so yeah, it feels really good.
Um, it has been such an incredible start to the year for you. Any particular highlights? Because of course, we have the Plot and You tour, for example. I imagine that was just filled with highlights, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, biggest tour we've ever done,
Yeah.
longest tour we've ever done. Every show was sold out, which was unreal. So congratulations to the Plot and You for that, and yeah, we loved every single second of that tour. The whole tour was like a highlight.
How did you what was the vibe with the kind of American audiences? You feel like they get you? Do you feel like they really connect with you?
Yeah, we're like a brand new band in America, which is really cool.
Mm.
There's not a lot of people in America have heard of Acres. So going over is exciting for us because so many new people discover us. And even after we play, a lot of people come up to us just like, I've never heard you guys. And especially like the Plot fans took to us really well. And we had so many people come up like, never heard you, going to check you out. And yeah, I feel like America's growing nicely. And it's refreshing for us just to almost have like a fresh start in another country because, like I said, we feel brand new there. So hitting
Yeah.
America as much as we can right now is really cool.
Well, for most people, getting to do it at once is a dream come true. But of course, we already mentioned you're back to the US quite soon. A huge blooming tour with the Devil Wears Prada. A different mindset, right? Like, what's
Yeah,
do you have a process you're already thinking about for that specific tour?
as in like set list wise.
Well, even the mentality, the different kind of audience. You've just done the Plot on You, so you would have almost catered your mind to that audience. Devil Wears Prada,
Yeah,
different kind of band.
yeah. We definitely are taking a heavier set to Prada for sure because obviously Era, Kingdom of Giants. So yeah, it's kind of cool at the moment because I was explaining to somebody that with this new record, it's different to anything Akers has done before, and it's a weird thing where right now we can kind of fit with so many bands, which I love. Even the lighter bands, we can cater like a lighter set for a lighter tour, or like now we can cater a heavier set for a heavier tour. So it's been like fun just experimenting with different songs and trying to come up with different set lists. But yeah, definitely taking a heavier set this time.
You've got a wealth of music, don't you? A wealth of stars, a wealth of ideas. It's the creativity within the band. There's so many different things that you can approach. But hell, even if you didn't necessarily tailor it for a heavier crowd, Acres Music, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to surprise, win maybe, as you said already, new people over who haven't heard of you. It's just that experience again, but I guess expanded because it's such a large tour.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's just it feels great. And Alex is our guitarist is a very long time Devil Wears Prada fan, so he definitely had to pinch himself when we got the tour. I've never really listened to them, but there was a record that he was obsessed with back in the day, many records. So yeah, I know how excited he is. We're all excited, but he is super excited for the tour because they're like his band.
Oh, I love it, man. You gotta not try not to fanboy too much, but hell, sometimes you just can't help it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be on tour when the new album drops. In fact, you're actually playing in Lincoln on the day the album drops.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to celebrate, do you think, considering you have to play?
Dude, I've not even thought about it. Everything's going so quickly. Like when you say it's out during that tour, that's wild because like I haven't even really thought of that because everything's been going so quickly, which is great. Like the singles have been dropping every couple of weeks, and I know
Yeah.
we have Built to Bleed comes out next week. Yeah, and I didn't even realize it was that close. And you just said, to be fair, that it drops on the tour. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll probably do something special. I'm not sure what yet, but yeah, we'll try and do something special for sure.
Good, because it is worth celebrating. So much work, and we're almost at the release day. We are, of course, talking about The Host, May 2nd, out May 2nd by a solid state record. Sum up what you think this album says about Acres as you stand here in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, it really shows how diverse of a band I feel like we can be. Um, a lot of people that have heard the record in full have said that I don't know where to put this album genre wise. It's not just metalcore. It's not just rock. And I mean, I really feel like there's something for everybody. And this whole process of Acres right now, kind of being a diverse band, is something I'm very stoked on. And the whole kind of point of this record was we went to Detroit and recorded with Landon from Plot.
Hmm.
And then we went out with like nothing. We had two half songs demoed with no vocals. So we went out completely blind. And the whole point of that was to just go and see what we could create without having like a box or a ceiling on what we wanted to make. It was pure just let's just go there and see what happens, make and see what comes out.
God damn, those early days must have been highly experimental then.
Yeah, I mean, we had a month there, and luckily, like we clicked with Landon straight away. Day one, we picked up a guitar. Landon picked up a guitar, and we just clicked. Like he was pretty much the fifth member of the band during that whole month, and yeah, idea wise, we just clicked. Everybody got each other. It went really smoothly, which is surprising because on the plane, me and Jack were like, we don't know if this is doable.
Yeah, because like you surely like you struggle. You have no without having a clear a vision, an idea, a direction to head in. I'm just wondering how what did you grab onto? How did it start? What was the first thread that you pulled and it started to unravel and you started to see and hear and create music that felt like, oh, this is good and this is what will be what the new album could be.
Yeah, I mean, Bloodlust was the first song we done in
Right.
full. So that really set the mood for the record. And we were messing around with synths and Landon was messing around with production and we all really loved where it was going. So Blood really set the mood. Um, and then it was just whatever came. Like I said, we'd pick up a guitar. And the great thing with Landon is you can pick up a guitar and just play a random riff and if it's not very good, he will give it a go and work with it. So
Right.
he we would track it and he would start building upon that. So the process, in the end, we did about 14 songs in a month,
Mm.
which is wild because we've never done it that quickly. And normally I hate I kind of thrive under pressure, which is good. Um, and normally I love to be so prepared and have all the instrumentals done, all the vocals as close as I can get them. But like I said, this time it was just pure pressure and thriving off just create. And also we had like 5 dudes as well. We've never done that on the record. So having 5 people write, contribute to what you're creating was a lot easier, which was cool.
So it is fair to kind of call this album the most unified Acres release to date.
Yeah, I mean, Burning Throne, it was just 2 of us. Lonely World was pretty much 2 of us. So
Mm.
yeah, this time having 5 minds is better than 2 for sure.
Well, of course, you mentioned Landon a bit in this already. Obviously, going in the studio and working with them was such obviously an important and a big deal to you. But from a sort of personal perspective, you specifically, not the band, what specifically did Landon kind of get out of you? What was he pushing? What boxes was he kind of opening?
Just I was a fan of the Plot I Knew before we toured with them.
Yeah.
So I love Landon as a vocalist and as a person. He is so good, and I think even as a songwriter, a vocalist, a musician, he is so talented. And to have to go and write and sing in a room with him
Mhm.
just made me want to up the game and not kind of how can I say, not be my best. So he definitely pushed that out. And even with melodies, vocals, lyrics, he was honest. And like I said, he was a 5th member. And if he didn't like something or he thought something could be cooler, like he would say like, we can do better than this. So he really did push the best out of me. And also with like the takes, he's so, as you know, on like the plot stuff, he's so intricate with his vocals. He started getting that from me, and if there was a take, he's like, it needs to be lighter, it needs to be breathier. So we really delved, which I've never done, and we really delved into that side on this record, which was cool. It was great.
Quite a challenge though. Did you have moments where you kind of felt, I just can't do this, and he was pushing you, and then you kind of got there in the end?
No, I mean, no, I don't. I'm not one for quit. I don't give up, and I will
Mhm.
go. And I remember one day that out, it was literally a line, and we couldn't get it the way we wanted it to sound, and it took about an hour and a half, and almost ruining my voice, like just to get this how we wanted it. And I was fine with it because that's what I'm here for. Like there was never a point I was just like, I'm done, or I don't want to do this. It was my mindset going into this record, especially with Landon, was I'm here to be pushed and I'm here to make something special. So every moment I was kind of like, you just got to push through this and get it done.
Satisfying as hell though, right?
Yeah. Oh, like as soon as it was finished, the last day of the studio, and as soon as it done, like big weight, very satisfying, very proud of the band and everyone involved. So to get it done, yeah, in a month, it was very satisfying.
Incredible. Honestly, it really is incredible to hear the work that's gone into that and that how quickly and how efficiently kind of everything came together. But I imagine still, regardless of that, there was a ton of challenges while you were having fun. Speaking of that, the writing period specifically, what was some of the more challenging moments of that for you?
Just yeah, I'm like I said, I thrive under pressure, but I also don't have the ideas all the time. So for the first time ever, Jack wrote songs on this record, which was
Mm.
cool because I feel like if it was me on my own, I wouldn't have got it done. Doing 10 songs that quickly on my own is super hard, but Jack is also super talented. He's a vocalist as well and is in another band. And yeah, for the first time, he wrote melodies, he wrote lyrics, and a lot of the heavier stuff like Bloodlust was Jack. Built to Bleed was Jack. Welcome to the Family was Jack. So, and it really did put like a new spin on songs as well. So, yeah, just having him there definitely helped.
How comfortable, how long did it take you kind of get comfortable with the changing style of writing that was going on here? With, because obviously you went out there with all intentions for this. You knew what you were doing, you planned this, but planning and doing are two different things. When you got to hand over the reins and sit back and let somebody else do something, how long did it take to get comfortable with that thinking?
Yeah, I mean, straight away, I was so open to anything on this record.
Yeah.
I my heart into the first two Acres records, and not to say I didn't pour my heart into this record, but I was so I've always wanted this band to evolve. My goal is the band to always evolve, never write the same record twice, and really just be open to trying new things creatively. And I don't want things to get stale. So straight away when Jack was writing, I got stuck on Bloodlust for a bit, and then Jack said, "I have some ideas for it," and I said, "Cool, let me hear them." And
Yeah.
I trust what he does. I think he's great. So yeah, it didn't really take me long. I like I said, my mindset going in was I'm here to try anything. It could absolutely anything. So yeah.
I love that because ultimately people would think, well, you can't, you say you'll try and do anything, and there's no lines in the sand as far as what you can create goes. But ultimately, Akers has a sound or a style, and there is going to be a base idea of what it is. But still, you strive to do something so different each and every time, and that's
Yeah,
clearly the case here again.
yeah. I mean, when I listen to like some of my favorite bands,
Mm.
like one of my favorite bands growing up were a band called Him, and there was, and I feel like with every record there was a mood. So if I was in a good mood, there'd be a record I listened to. If I was in a bad mood, there'd be a record I listened to. And if people are fans of Acres, and if they want to listen to heavy drop F guitars, want them to listen to say the Host, and then if they want to chill or they don't want to hear just breakdowns and stuff like that, then they can listen to Lonely World. And if they want something a little more rockier, you know what I mean, they have that record. So it's cool to almost how someone's feeling. There's a different record for each emotion. So that's definitely something which is important to me.
Oh yeah, and variety in all music is so important, particularly in a band, as much to keep it fresh for you, because the last thing we want you is you feeling like you're stagnating. But importantly, from
Yeah,
a listener's perspective, and a person as a fan myself, your evolution is coming across very comfortably and very natural. These constant changes and evolving sounds feel so natural. Does it feel the same for you? Like it's just working, it's just happening without you really having to do much.
yeah. I mean, we say it every time. When we did Burning Frame, we said, "This is the heaviest Acres have ever been," and then we go and do this. So like, I feel like it evolves very naturally because luckily the first record we just didn't go balls in with seven strings guitars, um,
Mhm.
and we Lonely World was a lot more intricate in places and a lot more, and then we didn't do that with Burning Throne. We took it rockier. So I feel like the progression has been natural because luckily we didn't. We're changing and we're trying new things, and this is the whole point of trying new things. So
Yeah.
naturally, yeah, we are evolving, which I love.
Do you have any kind of memories from sort of the writing period where there was an idea, maybe it was your own, an idea you had that was so out there, so like this that you kind of had to sit back and go, no, we can't do that.
Almost. There's a song on the record called "Around Again."
Hmm.
I don't think many of the boys were enjoying it as much as I was, and I was adamant. I was like, "This could be a great song. Like, I
Yeah.
really let me have it." And back at the Airbnb, I was trying to write to it before bed. I had no ideas, and then I ended up waking up at 4 a.m. and had this melody over one of the verses, and I was just like, "That's what I've been looking for." So I got up, went to the little portable studio we had, and ended up spending the next 3 hours writing the whole song. And I was very stoked on it, and I was just like, I fucking love this. And I remember the boys then woke up at like 8. I was still up demoing, and I said, "Look, I've done this," and I showed them. And I remember no one being too stoked apart from me, and I was like, "This is great, right?" And they were like, "Yes, fine." And then that
Oh,
in my put doubts about the song. So that song nearly didn't make the record because that was one of the last to get tracked. And I kind of was like, well, if I like this so much and the other boys aren't feeling it, then maybe I'm a bit biased because I've just written it, so maybe it's not like. But then, like I said, the cool thing with Land is I showed him the demo, and he was just like, "We can definitely work with this. This is great." So yeah, that was probably the only thing. Yeah, that didn't really make the record, but I'm so glad it did.
Well, same here. I kidding me. It's an incredible song. Well, we are talking about an incredible album, but you know what? I'm not alone here. And I tell you, the clues are already there because we've had two singles. We've had Bloodlust, we've had Staring at the Sun, and they've gone down really, really well with listeners. Have you been paying attention to the reaction, and are you happy with what people are kind of saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really happy with what everyone's saying. A lot of people seem to really dig the new direction, and especially with Bloodlust, which is Staring at the Sun is a little more like Acres They Know.
Hmm.
And Bloodlust was, yeah, something we've not really done before. So, and people really seem to like Bloodlust. They liked both the songs. And the one we have Built to Bleed coming out next week, which is one of my favorite songs on the record. And that's been the one I'm super excited for people to hear because, again, that doesn't sound like Acres. So
Yeah.
I'm.
How have you been deciding on singles here? How have you been choosing them?
Oh, we've been pulling our hair out. It was super hard. I have my favorite songs. The boys had their favorite songs. The label had their favorite songs. Our manager had his favorite songs, and a lot of them were different. And so we ended up just having to come to an agreement on the 3 or 4. Everybody agreed, and I think Bloodlust was one everyone was set on. And yeah, Built to Bleed, and then Staring at the Sun was a bit of a wild card because that wasn't really on anybody's list apart from the label. So we kind of trusted with what they wanted to do. So yeah, this time it was really hard because I think throughout between everybody, the whole record got listed off as singles between different people. So I was just like, this is wild, but this is also cool.
I asked that question because one of the almost awesome things about the record is the fact that every single track feels like it could be a single. You could have done any of them, and it would have just been a unique slice of this period in time.
Yeah, really cool to hear because yeah, trying to strive for every song to be as good as the last, if not better, is hard, but something I've always taken into consideration with every record. Like, I want this song to be better than this song, and if I love this song, then I want this one to be better than this song. So, yeah, we try not to do filler too much and just make it all killer.
There it is. But obviously, releasing the music, making the music, getting out there is one thing. There's other aspects to being a band these days. And for example, creating videos. Obviously, Bloodlust and Stare at the Sun both have videos, and they are great. But Bloodlust is just that little bit more creative, maybe. And I have to ask, man, because this is it's an incredible video. Talk to me about the work went into bringing this video to life.
Yeah, we had ideas as soon as the song was done. We had ideas for that, and I was trying to think like I want people to be captivated by the video. I don't want it just to be. I want people to really want to watch it and get invested. So my initial idea was, which we did do, was cannibals. So I had these crazy ideas at the airport because me and Jack stayed out longer than the other boys. So in the airport we had all day and we were just talking, and I was like, dude, we should do cannibals. We should do loads of blood, like make it really gory and horror-y. And Jack was game, and Jamie, the director, just loved the ideas, and he was just like, "Yeah, we can definitely make something like this work." And the work that him and his team put in was just like unreal, and he did such a good job of like bringing it together. Like we were on set the whole day and
Mm.
watching, and the set design that they all did was just unhinged. How much work they had, like 3 or 4 different walls. The actors did a great job as well. They were there all day, so yeah, just wild.
It's up there as I think maybe your most cinematic video you've ever done. It is simply incredible. What was your ideas though? Like when you went to the label and said like we want to do this for the video, what was their response?
I don't know. I think they just trusted us. But so Danny deals with a lot of the label more than we do. And then and Danny was kind of like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then I remember telling him when we were on set, and I was just like, we have a woman swinging by her hair covered in blood, and we have a dude pretending to eat people, and then the walls are going to bleed.
Mm.
And he didn't believe me, and he was just like, haha. And I was just like, dude, I'm being for real. And he was like, really. So everyone really had to trust it until we got the cut back, and I was just like, yeah, just trust us, like this will be cool. And everyone was like, okay, we'll trust you.
I feel like you've earned that trust. That's the thing. You've earned it. It's not like this is
Yeah.
your first rodeo, so it's all good. When you look at the kind of overall creative picture for this album, from the very first thing that was ever written to the masters coming back and all the work that goes in after that fact, what was some of the most positive moments for you?
Just it was the whole experience was positive. Like the dream was always to go to America and record a record. I don't know if that's just a British thing, but like
Hmm.
ever since I started playing music, I was like, I want to go to America and record an album. I don't know why, but it was just something we always wanted to do. And so finally getting to do it. And yeah, everything was just there was no bad vibes, there was no arguments, there was no clashing of heads, there was it the whole experience was pleasant, and just being over there and spending a month just being creative, which is again something I've wanted to do, like spend a month solidly in the studio kind of writing and stuff like that. And I've always asked to do it, so yeah, the whole thing was just it was great.
And the end result speaks for itself. It's simply fabulous, and we want this record to be more successful than ever, whatever that might look like. Which brings me to the final question: success and your measure of success for this album. What
Yeah,
does that look like?
dude, I don't know. I
Mm.
it's hard. I just want people to enjoy it, and I want people to like it. And yeah, it's really hard to say. Like I'm just enjoying the ride right now, and it's fun just to be doing something I love and being able to go to America and tour. And that was like for me as a musician, I have bucket lists, and one of them was always to go to America. Um, so now to do it, the third tour in a couple of weeks, in 2 years in America is just mind blowing to me, and I'm kind of happy with just what we are doing right now, and lucky to be playing shows, lucky to be going overseas, lucky to be able to go to America and even and make an album. So yeah,
Your success is all deserved, more than deserved. You've worked very hard for this, and the fact that you are about to go back over to America for many, many weeks with the Devil Wears Prada, and enjoy that tour while the album is being released. At least the tour will distract you from worrying about any of that aspects that just comes out when you're on tour. You're far too busy to be thinking of that, but hopefully you still get to enjoy it. It is out May 2nd, the host via Solid State Records. Ben, this has been fabulous. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I really do this. I really appreciate it.
yeah, all good. Thank you so much for having me again.
Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.